Hi, I'm James Eaton.
And I'm Matt Smiler.
Welcome to KatzAbosh's Executive Insight series.
Today we're going to discuss mixed-use vacation homes, which are dwellings used for both short-term rental and personal purposes. An improved economy and low interest rates have led to an increased interest in vacation or second homes. A mixed-use vacation home allows families to vacation at a reduced cost as compared to expensive short-term rentals, while adding the potential benefit of long-term property appreciation, and allows rental income to help cover overhead expenses.
Now, in a previous video, we discussed the fact that if you rent a vacation home for less than 14 days, then no income has to be reported on your tax return, and property taxes and mortgage interest paid on the property may be deductible. On the other end of the spectrum, if personal use is less than 14 days, or 10% of days available for rent, then the property is treated entirely as a rental property. This means that all the expenses, including property taxes and mortgage interest, are deductible against rental income. When a property is used more than 14 days of personal use, but also rented more than 14 days, then the property is what we call mixed use.
You might ask how the allocations work in a mixed-use property. When a property is mixed use, a ratio is computed of the number of personal days used over the number of days a property was available for rent. The expenses of the property are then split based on that ratio. The expenses attributable to personal use are deductible just like a normal second home. That is, real estate taxes and mortgage interest may be deductible up to certain limits. Other costs of upkeep are non-deductible. The expenses attributable to the rental use of the property may be used to offset rental income generated by the property. The rental use allows for the deduction of expenses such as utilities, maintenance, upkeep, insurance, and depreciation, in addition to mortgage interest and real estate taxes. Other expenses include advertising, brokerage commissions, and cleaning fees. Rental expenses in excess of rental income can be carried forward and may be used in a future year when there's additional rental income.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA, or what we call tax reform, changed some of the rules for the deductibility of personal expenses, but did not change the deductibility of expenses for the rental use of the property. For the personal use of property, deductible real estate taxes are limited to a total of $10,000 of taxes. In practical terms, this likely means that many people will be limited in the deductibility of the property taxes attributable to the personal use of the property. Deductible mortgage interest may also be limited. For properties purchased January 1st, 2018 or later, mortgage interest is only deductible on the first $750,000 of mortgage debt. This limit is on the combined mortgage debt of the primary residence and the mixed-use property. For properties purchased prior to the end of 2017, the combined mortgage debt limit is $1 million. Interestingly, there is no mortgage debt limitation on the rental use. So if, for example, you had a $2 million mortgage on a rental property, you could still deduct 100% of the mortgage interest against rental income.
That's right, James. And that means there are planning strategies for mixed-use properties. For instance, if you have a vacation property that you normally don't rent, which is near the Masters Golf Tournament or the Super Bowl, you could rent it for up to 14 days and not be required to report taxable income or expenses.
On the flip side of that, if you have a vacation home in Vail with a large mortgage and high property taxes, which you normally use for a month but rent for the rest of the year, you might consider only using that property for 2 weeks. That way you could deduct 100% of the mortgage interest and property taxes against rental income when they might not otherwise be deductible on your personal tax return.
Thank you for joining us today. These mixed-use rental rules can be complex. If you would like to discuss these issues or others, please contact your KatzAbosh professional.